Threes are often called the achiever or the performer. They tend to excel at life. And as the name suggests, they're very high performers. In my mental health video on threes, I encourage them to write down all the things that they love about themselves. But instead of writing down the things focused solely on kind of what they do, I wanted everything to be about who they are as a person and their character. What do you, as a three, kind of questioning yourself, what do you love about yourself and the good qualities that make you, you? And then I ask them, to have a few loved ones do the same. Just what is it about them, who they are, that they love and that their loved ones love apart from anything that they do? And then another tip I gave threes is to encourage them in some disciplines or some practices that produce no results, such as prayer or meditation or, just extended times of solitude. Doing this will just kind of wither away some of that belief that you are what you do, which can be just so naturally ingrained in type threes who want to be achievers. And then type threes would benefit greatly with their mental health by just being vulnerable with a few trusted people in their life rather than feeling they got to put on a facade of I'm competent, right? I'm performing, I'm killing it at my jobs. Just have a few people in your life that you can just share your real pains and heartaches with, and that can go a long ways in just the mental health of type threes. So is that accurate? What else would you add?
Yeah, I agree. Lindsay,
Okay.
who's a type 6, who's not impressed with what I do. She's not impressed with image or the masks I wear. Has been extremely healing for me in my mental health.
Awesome.
It just helping me to feel love for who I am, not what I do. So she's kind
Yeah.
of it stinks because you want your wife to be impressed with you all the all the time,
Sure. Yeah.
but she's not impressed with the things that could lead me to think that I'm lovable for what I do. Like she likes who I am. And
Yeah.
even when I, as a three, had to like shave my head when I turned 30, I had like really nice hair. And it was like going through a mental health crisis, like depressed, I'm losing my image,
Yeah.
I'm losing my
Oh gosh.
value. And she's
Yeah.
like, "You're the most handsome bald man in the world." She just
Wow.
uh, kept encouraging me
Yeah.
in all the right ways.
Wow.
So I love that. A
Yeah.
couple other things I've noticed for type threes are just the pressure. Threes experience immense pressure to achieve and perform at a high level, often surpassing their own limits, trying to surpass their own limits, so they can be competitive with other people, which is what the general description of threes, but they can also be very competitive with their own past goals and not be as
Oh,
competitive with other people. So
wow.
this
Okay.
pressure can be overwhelming and just lead to stress and anxiety when you feel like you just have to keep treading water, keep going, keep rising higher, or else you have no worth. Like
Sure.
Madonna was a three. She said, as soon as she came out with the popular album, the next day she felt worthless and had to go strive for the next, record the next album because that's where
Wow.
she found her worth. So just that pressure, it can lead to a lot of stress and anxiety for three.
Wow.
Similar related is an overloaded schedule. So threes often struggle to identify when their schedule becomes overloaded and the fatigue starts to set in, and they may not realize that they're crashing and burning until it's too late, impacting their mental and physical well-being and the health of their family and their kids.
Sure.
You know, that's a big
Yeah.
one for me. And then the next one, last one would be an imposter syndrome. So I think threes and some other types can struggle with this too, but I know definitely threes do. That after achieving something, threes often experience this what's called the imposter syndrome, uh, and so they doubt their own worthiness and they fear being exposed as a fraud. So this
Wow.
internal struggle can really undermine their confidence and contribute to feelings of anxiety and self doubt. So it looks like,
Wow.
for me as a pastor, when I got up and preached, I would preach confidently, do my three thing and,
Sure.
make it look good and try to impress people. But then I would sit back down and say, you know what, that wasn't me. That was just a mask.
Mm.
Like if they're impressed with the
Wow.
talk, they're impressed with what I did, but if they knew the real me, then they wouldn't be impressed. So they're just
Wow.
deceived. And so even though I need the affirmation in their compliments, as sort of gas to put in the car to keep going, that is it's not doesn't really even work because I'm like, oh, I just deceived them. I'm just an imposter. I'm a fraud. If they knew the real
Wow.
me, then they wouldn't love what they see. And so then it just, it goes between performing and then feeling a lack of worth, and that can cause a lot of anxiety under the hood for a 3.